invite you to relax into this sacred time and sacred space that you have created for yourself. I invite you to fully immerse yourself in this radical act of self-love, to step into your power, to become your own healer, your own shaman. So make yourself comfortable. Take a few deep breaths to prepare yourself for the journey ahead. And dive into this deep medicine of the imagination. Closing your eyes and bringing your awareness into the here and now, into this time and into this place. Into your body and into your breath. Because this is time for you. It's time to be, time to rest, relax, release, and recharge. Okay, so as I begin this transmission, I can see a very, very big eye. And this eye is weeping. Now, I do often see a weeping eye, and this is normally goddess Isis, but I don't get the sense that this is Isis. It doesn't look like her eye. It's bigger than it's normally shown to me. And it's like the eye is not only weeping now, it's like it's pouring water out of itself, as if it's actually a waterfall. Big deep breath. Okay, tell me about this waterfall coming from the eye, please. I'm being told that this is the sorrow and this is the grief. This is the sorrow and the grief that is coming. This is the sorrow and the grief that we will feel when we learn the truth about what has been going on for a very long time. Okay, what else do you have to tell me about this, please? Okay, Isis is saying, this is my eye. And normally you just see a few tears dribbling out of my eye, but this is an outpouring of grief and sorrow that you will not have experienced the extent of before, because the shadow and the horror is so big that it will be overwhelming for a time. But she's also saying that this is a part of our journey. This is a necessary part of our journey to confront face to face the deepest and darkest shadows of humanity and of our history. And we cannot move on until we confront this. And we cannot move on until we grieve over the terrible things that have happened. Deep breath. Okay, Isis, what else do you have to tell me or show me, please? She's saying you must be gentle with yourself during this time. You must be gentle with yourself. do not move into self-punishment, self-blame, self-guilt, self-chastisement. There is no point, she is saying, there is no point in seeking to punish yourself for things that you really had no control over and were not aware of. And she's also saying that that is no excuse for ignorance, and that when the time comes for us to be clearly shown these things, if we choose to turn away from the truth and this reality, then that is a form of ignorance, that is a form of denial. That to be able to move on, process, integrate and release ultimately all of this sorrow and all of this pain, we have to be able to acknowledge it and accept that this is what has happened. And she said this is why we must be very gentle with ourselves, very gentle and compassionate, to hold space for ourselves to process all of the emotions that will come up. She's saying that this is going to be a huge grieving process, a huge grieving, collective grieving process that we must go through. And we will be able to process it more quickly if we are kind and compassionate and gentle with ourselves and allow ourselves to see the truth and allow ourselves to feel the grief and the sorrow and to let it go so that we can move on. She's talking to me about humanity needing to establish or create new rituals or new ceremonies that will help us to process this grief, and that will help us to let go of these experiences, both personal and collective, so that we can move into a new way of being, so that we can fully step into the new paradigm, so that we can fully look towards the light, grow towards the light, create and birth a new and better world for ourselves. But we have to grieve over the death of the old world. We have to grieve over the horrors that will come to light around how that world operated. This is part of our process. We need to confront the darkness. We need to grieve it properly. You know, when people don't go through a proper grieving process, they prevent themselves from really being able to heal from those experiences. And this is what we need more than anything now, is healing. We've been through so much, and this last year has been the climax of thousands of years worth of drip, drip, drip oppression, drip, drip, drip slavery, human slavery, drip, drip, drip exploitation on so many levels. And the full reality of that is going to come into clear focus for us very, very soon. So really the message here is be gentle and kind to ourselves, and allow ourselves to grieve fully, and allow ourselves to feel the emotions that are going to come up without any judgment of how we should feel, how we ought to feel, how other people tell us we must feel. You know, just allow the authentic feelings to come up and let them be, let them flow, let them be released. You know, this is a catharsis process. It is an emotional cleansing process that is absolutely necessary for us. And this is what the waterfall coming out of Isis's eye represents. Really is a cleansing, dousing ourselves in the waters of the goddess, so that we can both come into harmony with our deepest emotions and honour them and acknowledge them and allow them to be felt and heard and seen, and allow the stories that may accompany them to be heard and felt and seen. So that we can move on. And so I'm being given the invitation really from Isis and to offer this invitation to everybody listening to use water as your ally, to immerse yourself in whatever water is convenient and calling to you, whether that is getting into your bath at home, whether that's stepping underneath a waterfall out in nature, whether that's submerging yourself in the nearest lake or river. I encourage you to call upon water as an element that is being harnessed by Isis to cleanse us and clean us of all this toxic emotional energy. Go and connect with the element of water and allow it to clean you, spiritually, emotionally, energetically, not just with a scrubbing of soap, but invite the water, the element of water, to thoroughly cleanse you on all levels. Okay, thank you, Isis. Is there anything else that you have to tell us, please, or show us? Okay, I'm being shown a big set of wings now. Isis, are these your wings? She said yes. She said, once you have done the emotional cleansing, then you will be able to spread your wings and fly without the heavy burden of a heavy heart. She's saying that this is a way of lightening your load so that you can ascend, so that you can spread your wings and fly high, higher than you could before. You can't fly high if you're carrying heavy burdens. And so this is also an invitation for us to spread our wings. Spread our wings and take off, which is another theme that has already come up in the Gaia Transmissions several times now. Thank you, Isis. Is there anything else that you wish to share with us, please? Okay, there's a very clear sentence that just came through there from her. She's saying, now is your time. Now is your time. Which kind of implies that before now wasn't really our time, but now is our time. Thank you, Isis. Do you wish to elaborate on that any further, or give us any other information? She's just reiterating, just be gentle with yourselves. Have a period of gentleness, a period of being sweet to yourself. Lots of self-care, lots of self-love. Banish all forms of judgment of yourself or anyone else. Okay, thank you very much, Isis. Is there anything else that you have to share with us, or anything else from any other allies, please? I'm being given the words peace and reconciliation. Peace and reconciliation. And you know, I guess this is what comes after the grief, isn't it? After we have grieved our deepest pains and our deepest sorrows of whatever was unjustly done to us, then comes the opportunity for us to engage in peace and reconciliation. And you know, really this is an opportunity for forgiveness. This is a hard thing to achieve and will take time for many. But I'm being told, you know, ultimately this is what we need to aspire to, is peace, reconciliation and forgiveness. And she's saying that this won't come straight away. It can't come straight away. There is a whole pile of emotions and psychological processing that we must go through before we can reach that point, but that is where we're headed. You know, it's like any grieving process. There are stages to grief, aren't there? There is the shock, denial, anger, acceptance, and then coming to peace with the loss. And this is what we as a human collective are going to have to go through together, both individually through our own experiences of loss and tragedy, but also the collective experience that we as a human family have had to endure. And this is why we need to take our time and be gentle and kind to ourselves. Okay, thank you, Isis. Is there anything else that you have for us today, please? Okay, I'm being told that this is where the women will step up and come into their own. That this is the role of nurturing, nourishing and healing that women are naturally predisposed and inclined to. And that this will be a re-emergence and a remembering of the true gifts of the feminine. And she is also saying that this is also an encouragement to embrace and give space to the feminine aspect within all of us, both men and women, boys and girls. That culturally we need to all remember how to honour and acknowledge the power and the gentle strength of feminine power. Feminine power can also come in the form of fierce strength as well, but what I'm being shown at this time is that we need to connect with that gentle mothering strength. And I'm being given the metaphor of when a child falls over and scrapes their knee or cuts their leg or whatever, you know, that mothering instinct to scoop them up and hold them close and just be there for the child to cry their tears and to feel the pain of the scraped knee, of the sight of their own blood, of the reality check that is the acknowledgement that we have been hurt. And I'm being told that the goddess energies of both the divine feminine as well as the earthly feminine of power of Mother Nature, they are all holding us as we are the little ones of the divine goddess and Mother Earth. They are holding us as we go through this process of self-realization, of understanding that we have been deeply hurt and that we can cry, and we should cry, and we need to feel those emotions, and we need to be shocked by the sight of our own blood, and we need to be shocked by the injury that has been sustained, and then we need to dry the tears and apply the healing balm to the wounds and to move on and allow those wounds to heal. So allow yourself to be held by the Great Mother in all of her aspects. Big deep breath. She is there in so many forms, in ways that you will connect with, in ways that you will recognize, in ways that you will be able to receive. So allow yourself to be held as we lick our wounds and heal ourselves from these terrible wounds inflicted upon humanity. Okay, I'm being told that is all for now. And so I wish to express my gratitude and thanks to all of those who have come and helped us in this healing today. Thank you for the healing. Thank you for the healing. Thank you for the healing. And now, taking a few deep breaths. Coming back into this time and back into this place. Back into your body and back into your breath. Giving your fingers a little wiggle. Giving your toes a little wiggle. And stretching yourself out to return to the here and now. And I look forward to taking another soul journey with you soon. Lots of love, Joanna Joy.